We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Good morning, students. Today we discuss a topic types of singularity and residue in the subject of CVPD, complex variable and partial differential equation, the branch civil SEM 4. So first, what is the definition of singularity? A point at which the function f of z is not analytic is called a singularity or a singular point of f of z. As for example, we consider a function f of z is 1 upon z minus 1. So easily we can say this function is not analytic at the point z is equal to 1, because this function is undefined at z is equal to 1, except that point the function is analytic everywhere. So we can say the point z is equal to 1 is a singular point, or z is equal to 1 is a singularity of the function f of z is 1 upon z minus 1. The various types of the singularity are as follow. So isolated singularity, poles, removable singularity, essential singularity. So there are different types of the singularity. So now we discuss isolated singularity. So let z is equal to z0 be a singular point of f of z. If, this is important sentence, if there is no other singular point in the neighborhood of z0, this is important sentence, if there is no other singular point in the neighborhood of z0, then z is equal to z0 is called an isolated singularity of a function f of z. Otherwise, it is a non-isolated singular point. As for example, we consider the function f of z is 1 upon z minus 1, z minus 2. So clearly, we've seen that this function is not analytic at the point z is equal to 1 and z is equal to 2. So easily we can say z is equal to 1 and 2 are singular points. But both points are isolated because except that point, that means its neighborhood of z is equal to 1 point and z is equal to 2 point, function is analytic. That means except that point the function is analytic everywhere. So both are isolated singularity. Similarly, if we consider the function f of z is a sec pi z, so sec pi z has an infinite number of isolated singularity, because this function is undefined, the point plus or minus 1 by 2 plus or minus 3 by 2 up to n so on. So point is not a finite number, all points are infinite numbers, so we can say sec pi z has an infinite number of the isolated singularity. Now we discuss the another singularity is pole. This is an important topic for the residue theorems and residue theory and application of residue theory. So this is very important topics. Now what is the concept of poles we discuss? So if z is equal to z0 is an isolated singularity of f of z, then we expand the function f of z in a Lorentz series about the point z is equal to z0. And we know that what is the formula for the Lorentz series expansion. So f of z is the summation n is 0 to infinity cn z minus z0 raised to n plus summation n is 1 to infinity bn z minus z0 raised to n. So in a Lorentz series expansion, the first part where the power of z minus z0 is positive, and the another part where the power of z minus z0 is negative. If power of z minus z0 is negative, then the part is said to be a principal part. So this portion is nothing but the principal part of the Lorentz series. So principal part of the Lorentz series, that means the power of z minus z0 is negative. So now in the Lorentz series expansion, the principal part has a finite number of terms. That means we express the second part. So summation n is 0 to infinity cn z minus z0 raised to n plus b1 z minus z0 plus b2 z minus z0 square up to n so on bn z minus z0 raised to n. So the principal part of the Lorentz series is not a infinite number, it is a finite number of terms. Then the singularity z is equal to z0 is said to be the pole of order n. In this expansion, if we consider b2 equal to 0, b3 equal to 0, up to bn is equal to 0, only b1 not equal to 0, then the singularity z is equal to z0 is said to be a pole of order 1 or a simple pole. So, what is the meaning of poles? How to find the pole? So, indirectly, first we find the singularity. So, if b1 is not equal to 0, again I repeat, and b2, b3 up to 1 and so on all are 0. So, only one term, b1 upon z minus z0, where the power of z minus z0 is 1. Therefore, we can say z is equal to z0 is a pole of order 1. And this is called a simple pole. Similarly, also we observe, suppose b1 upon z minus z0 plus b2 upon z minus z0 square. Two term is there. Another all term are 0 in the principal part of Lorentz series. So in this case, z is equal to z0 is a pole of order 2 because the highest power of this factor is 2. So now we discuss the example of poles. So example, classify the poles of f of z is equal to 1 upon z, z minus 1 square, z minus 3 cube. So now this function, clearly we seen that which is not analytic at the point z is equal to 0, z is equal to 1 and z is equal to 3. So we consider the denominator term is equal to 0. Therefore, we get z is equal to 0, 1 and 3. But the power of z, all are polynomial form. So the power of z, this factor is 1. So z is equal to 0. Z minus 1 whole square. So z minus 1 power is 2. That means z is equal to 1 2 times. And z minus 3 cube. So z is equal to 3 times. Therefore, z is equal to 0 is a simple pole. Z is equal to 1 is a pole of order 2 and z is equal to 3 is a pole of order 3. Another example, classify the poles of f of z is 1 upon z square plus 1, z square plus 4. So now this function f of z, first we convert in the factor form. So z square plus 1 factor is z plus I, z minus I. And the z square plus 4 factor is z plus 2i, z minus 2i. So now this function where all factor power is 1 and we can take the denominator is equal to 0 where the function is not analytic. So easily we can say z is equal to minus I, z is equal to I, z is equal to minus 2i and z is equal to 2i where function is not analytic and all factor power is 1. So all are simple pole. Now next, removable singularity. So if in the Lorentz series expansion, the principal part is 0. In a previous singularity, the principal part is a finite number of terms. Removable singularity means the principal part is 0. That is, f of z is only the first part, the second part is 0. Then the singularity z is equal to z0 is called a removable singularity. Consider example, consider the function f of z is equal to sine z upon z. So here z is equal to 0 is a singularity of f of z. Now we expand of this function at the point z is equal to 0. So obviously we use the Lorentz series expansion. So sine z upon z, 1 upon z. The standard expansion of sine z, we use the Maclaurin series because we expand at the point z is equal to 0. So we know that what is the expansion of sine z. So z minus z cube by 3 factorial plus z raised to 5 by 5 factorial and so on. Divide by z, we get this form. Now this form is a expansion of sine z by z, where the power of z is not negative. All term where the power of z is positive. That means the principal part of the Lorentz series is 0. Function is not defined at z is equal to 0. That means z is equal to 0 is a singular point. But the expansion of this function where the principal part is 0. Therefore, z is equal to 0 is a removable singularity. Now, next singularity is essential singularity. If in the Lorentz series expansion, the principal part contains an infinite number of terms, then the singularity z is equal to z0 is said to be an essential singularity. So again, I repeat, essential singularity, that means in the Lorentz series expansion, the principal part contain an infinite number of terms. Then the singularity z is equal to z0 is said to be an essential singularity. Example, consider the function f of z is z into sine 1 upon z. So here z is equal to 0 is a singular point. Now we find the Lorentz series expansion of this function at z is equal to 0, which is given by z into sine 1 upon z is equal to z. Sine 1 upon z expansion is 1 upon z minus 1 upon 3 factorial 1 upon z cube plus 1 upon 5 factorial 1 upon z raised to 5 and so on. So we multiply with z is 1 minus 1 upon 3 factorial 1 upon z square plus 1 upon 5 factorial 1 upon z raised to 4 and so on. So we get this form. So clearly we seen that all term where the power of z is negative and which is not a finite term, it is infinite term. That means this is the principal part and is a infinite number of term at z is equal to 0 point. So therefore the z is equal to 0 is said to be a essential singularity. Example. We consider another example. F of z is a e raised to 1 upon z minus 1. So expand this function, we get this form. Since the number of negative power term of z minus 1 is infinite, so obviously the principal part of the Lorentz series is not a finite number and the singular point is z is equal to 1. So therefore z is equal to 1 is an essential singularity. So basically there are three concepts. One is the principal part of the Lorentz series is 0. Principal part of the Lorentz series is finite and principal part of the Lorentz series is infinite. So if the principal part of the Lorentz series is 0, then the singularity z is equal to z0 is said to be a removable singularity. Principal part of the Lorentz series is a finite number, then the singularity z is equal to z0 is a pole. And the principal part of the Lorentz series is infinite number of terms, then the singularity z is equal to z0 is essential singularity. Now one other most important topic in a complex analysis is residue, because this topic can be used for evaluating the integration. So what is the basic fundamental of residue? So if the complex function f of z has a pole at the point z is equal to z0, then the coefficient b1 coefficient b1 of the form 1 upon z minus z0 in the principal part of Lorentz series expansion of f of z about z is equal to z0 is called the residue of f of z at the point z is equal to z0. So again I repeat, if the complex function f of z has a pole at the point z is equal to z0, after expansion of the function, the coefficient b1 of 1 upon z minus z0 in the principal part of the Lorentz series of f of z is said to be a residue at the point z is equal to z0 of the function f of z. It is denoted by residue. We write res, residue at z is equal to z0 f of z. From the Lorentz series, the coefficient b1 is given by b1 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi I integration over the curve C f of z dz, where C is any closed contour enclosing z0 such that f of z is analytic on and within a curve C. So residue, that means the coefficient b1 of 1 upon z minus z0. So this part, this value b1, so this value is a residue of the function f of z at the point z is equal to z0. So this is very important things, how to define the residue. So now there are different formula for calculation of residue in a different types of the poles. So first, if f of z has a simple pole at z is equal to z0, then the residue at z is equal to z0, f of z is equal to limit z tends to z0, the factor z minus z0 into f of z. Second, if f of z has a pole of order more than 1, that means order n, then the residue at z is equal to z0 f of z is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial limit z tends to z0, the n minus 1 time derivative of the function z minus z0 raised to n into f of z. And third, if f of z is the form pz by qz, then the residue at z is equal to z0 f of z is equal to p of z0 upon q dash z0. Where p of z0 is not equal to 0 and qz has a simple pole at z is equal to z0. Now we discuss example of residue. So determine the residue at each poles of the following function. So first we consider f of z is a 2z upon z into z minus 1. So now this function is not analytic, obviously at the point z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1. Also, we observe z is equal to 0 where the power is 1. The factor z minus 1 power is 1. So both are simple poles. Now both are simple poles, so we use the technique number 1 for finding the residue at the point z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1 of this function. So first we find the residue at z is equal to 0 f of z. This is equal to limit z tends to z0. Formula is z tends to z0, but in this example z0 we consider 0. So z tends to 0 into z minus z0. So again z0 is 0 and the function f of z. So 2z plus 1 upon z, z minus 1. So this is equal to this factor z and z cancel. So the remaining term is a limit z tends to 0, 2z plus 1 upon z minus 1. We input 0, then we get the answer is minus 1. So minus 1 is the residue of this function at the point z is equal to 0. Similar way, we find the residue at z is equal to 1 f of z. So this is equal to limit z tends to 1. The factor is z minus 1, obviously because z0 is 1 into the function. So z minus 1, z minus 1 factor cancel. So the remaining term limit z tends to 1, 2z plus 1 upon z. And we replace z with 1, then we get answer is 3. So 3 is a residue at z is equal to 1. So directly we find the residue. Suppose we find the residue at z is equal to 0. So except this term z, we input z is equal to 0, then we get the residue. Similar, z is equal to 1, we find the residue. So except this term, we input z is equal to 1, then we get the residue. Now in the second example, clearly we seen that z denominator term is z raised to 4. That means z is equal to 0 is not a simple pole, is a pole of order 4. So n is equal to 4. That means we use the technique number 2 for finding the residue. So residue z is equal to 0 of the function f of z. The formula is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial. So n is equal to 4. 4 minus 1 factorial. Limit z tends to z0. Z0 is 0. 3 times the derivative. Because n is 4. So n minus 1 time derivative. So d cube by dz cube. The factor is a z minus 0 raised to 4. 1 minus e raised to 2z into z raised to 4. So this is the function f of z. Now z raised to 4, z raised to 4 cancel. So the remaining term is 1 minus e raised to 2z. We find the 3 time derivative. So minus 8 e raised to 2z. We apply z tends to 0. Then we get answer is minus 4 by 3. So minus 4 by 3 is the residue of the function f of z is a 1 minus e raised to 2z upon z raised to 4. But it is not a simple pole, it is a pole of order 4. Similar, we consider the another example. F of z is a z square plus 1 upon z square minus 2z minus 3. So this is, in this example, the denominator term is not in a factor form, in a polynomial form. So obviously, first we convert in a factor form. So we get z minus 3, z plus 1. So therefore, this function have a two simple pole. One is a z is equal to 3 and another is a z is equal to minus 1. Now we find the residue of z is equal to 3 of the function. So we use the technique 1, limit z tends to 3, z minus 3 into the function, z minus 3 cancel. So remaining term is z square plus 1 upon z plus 1. So we get answer is 5 by 2. Now the residue of z is equal to minus 1. So the factor is a z plus 1 into the function z plus 1 cancel. We get the answer is minus 1 by 2. The second example. In a second example, the function is given that cot z. So cot z first we convert in a form cos z upon sin z. So here z is equal to 0 and z is equal to plus or minus n pi, where sin z is not, where sin z is 0, because sin 0 is 0, sin plus or minus n pi is 0. So this function have a z is equal to 0 and z is equal to plus or minus n pi are simple poles. So for this example, we use the technique number 3 for calculating the residue. So f of z we consider cot z. Cot z is equal to cos z upon sin z, and the form is a pz by qz. So obviously pz is a cos z and qz is a sin z. Now the formula for residue of z is equal to z0 is a p of z0 upon q dash z0. So p of z is a cos z, q of z is a sin z. So p of z0 is cos z0, and the derivative of sin z is a cos z. So q dash z0 is a cos z0. So residue at the point 0 cos z upon sin z. So this value, and z0 is 0, so cos 0 upon cos 0, so value is 1. Similar, z is equal to plus or minus n pi, so cos n pi value is 1. That means the residue of cot z is always 1. Thank you. If any doubt, then please contact me at the email ID arshadpatel.ash@svidvasa.ac. Thank you. In the next lecture, we discuss next topic, Cauchy residue theorem and its application.